hope you can handle all kind of average, RMS, peak and crest factor and form factor sort of problems you can handle now. You have to just do integration, or in some cases when finding of area is easy, you can use the other formula, that is the area under the curve divided by time period for average value and area under the squared curve divided by time period का square root for RMS value. These things are very simple, but these four things will create at least 5 to 7 marks in your examination. Okay, so the small things are going to help you in your examination a lot. Okay, means if you do all the numericals of DC circuits, you will get at least, on an average, at least they will ask 2 subjective questions on DC circuits. Fine, the Thevenin's theorem, the Norton's theorem, nodal mesh. These means the combination of all these can be are asked every year for at least 2 questions. Okay, so the 28 marks itself come from DC circuit, and this is minimum. I will consider that at least 35 marks, because 2-3 questions are in objective also from DC circuits, like some definition, the superposition, the maximum power transfer theorem का definition, कभी-कभी Thevenin's का definition पूछ देते हैं, और sometimes the basic definition, that unilateral element, bilateral element, active passive element, these kind of definition they always ask. So I am considering that they will give on an average 35 marks, means 50%, almost 50% of marks from the DC circuits itself, because this is the most basic thing. Okay, we are studying the subject basic electrical engineering, and the most basic thing here is the DC circuits. Okay, which you must know. Okay, after that we will come to AC circuit. So from AC circuit, every year they at least ask one subjective question for 14 marks. This question may be divided into 2 parts. Okay, so 14 marks subjective and let me say 4 marks objective. On an average 20 marks they ask from AC circuit. So you got 55 marks from here only. Okay, this is, I am telling you, this is the minimum. Okay, sometimes you can score out of 70 65 marks only studying these 2 chapters. After that you will come to magnetic circuits. Okay, you will study the transformers, then you will study the machines, some part of machines is there, electrical machines, then electrical installations. From these, magnetic circuit question is not mandatory, they ask sometimes or not. Most of the time they don't ask from this part. Okay, from transformer they ask one 40 mark question every year, and this 40 marks is mostly concerned with the theoretical part of transformer, means what are the kinds of transformer, or what is the efficiency, the losses, the voltage regulation definition, or voltage regulation derivation they ask sometimes. Okay, from machine one question again from here, and installation half a question, not 14 marks. I think 14 marks for they do not ask from this part for 14 marks, they ask for like 7 marks, these sort of things. Okay, so more and more emphasis you should give, according to me and according to your exam pattern, your question pattern, more and more marks you will get from these AC plus DC only. Okay, you can score at least 60 from them, at least 60 I am telling, because in your examination 9 questions will be there, you have to simply eliminate 4 questions. So these theoretical portions, these are the theoretical portions. The magnetic circuits, the transformer, the machines and the installation are mostly the theoretical portion. So if you are not good in mugging up the things, अगर आपको चीज़ें रटने में परेशानी होती है तो आप बेशक सिर्फ AC और DC पढ़ के जाओ, कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी, आप कम से कम 90% मार्क्स तो स्कोर कर ही लोगे. फाइन, So let us move to our main problem. This kind of analysis I have studied like 7-8 question papers of previous year, 2-3 question papers which are based on the new syllabus. The new syllabus, they are more focusing on theoretical part of the last 3-4 topics. Okay, numericals are coming mostly from AC and DC part, mostly, not every time. Okay, but sometimes they ask some numerical question from transformer also. चलो ये प्रॉब्लम करो. And the average value, RMS value, form factor and peak factor for the sinusoidal waveform. तो आप मुझे बताओ that what is the average value of a sinusoidal waveform? क्या होता है? Tell me. 0. Average value we calculated for a sinusoidal waveform as 0. Then RMS value. RMS value we calculated, it came to be Vm by root 2. Okay. What is the peak value? Peak value तो पता ही है, हमेशा क्या होता है? Vm के बराबर होता है. Now let us, so RMS value और एवरेज वैल्यू और पीक वैल्यू तो आपको पता चल गया. आपको क्या चाहिए? फॉर्म फैक्टर चाहिए. तो फॉर्म फैक्टर निकालने के लिए क्या होता है? फॉर्म फैक्टर इज इक्वल टू आरएमएस बाई एवरेज. बट एवरेज तो यहाँ पे 0 है, तो क्या होगा? क्या फॉर्म फैक्टर का वैल्यू क्या इन्फिनिटी हो जाएगा? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. इन द केसेस वेयर, लेट मी राइट इट हियर एज अ नोट. ओके, in the cases where average value is equal to 0 for a waveform, calculate the average value for half a cycle. Half a cycle, average and RMS. Average and RMS value for half a cycle for calculation of form factor and peak factor. ठीक है, ऐसे केसेस में जहाँ पे एवरेज वैल्यू या आरएमएस वैल्यू 0 आ जाए, तो ऐसे केस में क्या करना है आपको? फुल साइकिल की जगह हाफ साइकिल में ही एवरेज वैल्यू और आरएमएस वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करके और अपना फॉर्म फैक्टर एंड पीक फैक्टर यू कैन कैलकुलेट, बिकॉज दीज टर्म्स कैन नॉट बी इक्वल टू इन्फिनिटी. फाइन, बिकॉज एवरेज इज हेयर इन द डिनोमिनेटर. ओके, तो सो लेट अस, सो वी, since average value is equal to 0 for sinusoid is equal to 0, we have to calculate for average for half cycle, average and RMS ना. अब एवरेज एंड आरएमएस निकालो साइनोसॉइडल के लिए हाफ साइकिल. हमने पहले ही निकाल रखा है. जब हमने हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर का एवरेज वैल्यू निकाला था तो क्या था? वो हाफ अप टाइम पीरियड ऑफ साइनोसॉइड के लिए वो होता था ना. कैसा होता था? रेक्टिफायर का वेवफॉर्म होता था कुछ इस तरीके का. तो ये क्या था? ये 2 पाई था और ये पाई था. यहाँ पे टाइम पीरियड कितना था? 2 पाई था ना. तो हमने कहाँ तक का निकालते थे? पाई तक का ही निकालते थे ना, बाकी तो 0 होता था. सो इसका साइनोसॉइड का एवरेज वैल्यू एंड आरएमएस वैल्यू फॉर हाफ अ साइकिल विल बी इक्वल टू, हाफ साइनोसॉइड मीन्स हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर का एवरेज वैल्यू एंड आरएमएस वैल्यू फॉर 1 साइकिल. ओके, सो फॉर हाफ अ साइकिल average value of half wave rectifier sinusoid is equal to कितना आता है? This will come to be Vm by pi. We calculated it. The peak value divided by pi and RMS value. This will come to be Vm by root 2. Vm by pi is the average value and RMS value for half cycle कितना होगा? RMS value for half cycle is equal to कितना होगा? Vm by 2. We already calculated when we calculated the RMS value of a half wave rectifier. Next, find the form factor. Form factor is equal to RMS value by average value. So RMS is Vm by 2, average is Vm by pi. So this is pi by Vm. RMS by average now. RMS is Vm by 2 divided by Vm by pi. So this is pi by 2 1.57. नेक्स्ट पीक फैक्टर निकालना है आपको, तो पीक फैक्टर आप तो पूरे साइकिल पे निकालोगे क्योंकि यहाँ पे एवरेज वैल्यू का यूज नहीं है. पीक फैक्टर इज इक्वल टू क्या होगा? पीक वैल्यू Vm बाई RMS वैल्यू, और RMS वैल्यू फॉर साइनोसॉइड कितना होता है? Vm बाई रूट 2 होता है ना, बाई रूट 2. सो दिस विल गिव यू 1.732. You can directly remember the values here that form factor for sinusoid is 1.57 and peak factor for sinusoid is 1.732. So I hope we have solved a good number of questions for calculation of RMS, average, peak and crest factors. Now we will move to our next topic. Please solve a good number of questions by yourself in these small topics. These are going to help you improve your marks a lot in your examination. So thank you for watching. In next lecture I will see you.